The individuals you see in the picture are Iraqi children, none older than 17 years old, who committed a heinous and shocking act, something unimaginable for children their age. This thread tells the story of the Iraqi teenage gang. These are all teenagers, with the oldest being just 17 years old, but after coming together, they committed a crime that can only be described as diabolical. In 2020, in the beautiful tourist area of Al-Zawiya in Anbar, Iraq, 4 teenagers were born into simple families struggling to secure their daily bread. The first was Bashar, born in 2003, making him 17 years old. Bashar continued his education up to the 6th grade and was considered the smartest and oldest among his friends. The second was Elias, born in 2006, who was only 14 years old. Elias never attended school and had almost no formal education. The third was Abdul Rahman, born in 2007, who was 13 years old. Abdul Rahman had reached the 4th grade but dropped out because he couldn't pass that stage. The fourth and most devilish among them was Omar, born in 2004, who was 16 years old. Omar dropped out of school in the 4th grade and started working with his father in their shop. On July 22, 2020, a Wednesday, Omar's father asked him to manage the shop so he could finish some tasks. Omar asked his father for the phone to keep himself entertained while working, and his father agreed, unaware of the disasters that could result. After his father left, Omar activated the internet on the phone and started browsing inappropriate websites. After about an hour and a half or two, his father returned, but Omar took the phone and went to the place where he usually gathered with his friends. When he arrived, he found Bashar, Elias, and Abdul Rahman there, and they all began watching the same inappropriate videos that Omar had been viewing. An evil idea began to form among them, prompting them to consider acting out what they saw in the videos on someone else. At that moment, a small child, no older than 9 years, walked by, on his way to buy some items from the shop. Bashar suggested to his friends that they lure this child and replicate what they had seen. Initially, they refused, but Bashar convinced them. They waited until the child left the shop, then Omar approached him and asked if he wanted to play with them. The child agreed, saying he would return after delivering the items his family had bought. Omar advised him not to tell his parents where he was going. Moments later, the child returned and joined them, not realizing the fate that awaited him. He thought they were going to play soccer as they usually did, but they led him to an abandoned, unfinished house, where the catastrophe began. They started planning who would begin the atrocious act on the child, and Omar was chosen to start. He approached the child, who began to resist him. So Omar hit his head against the wall until he lost consciousness and started bleeding.